Classic FM 102.4. 102.4 Classic FM. The world's most important music. On the world's most important radio station, 102.4 Classic FM. (102.4) Classic FM, the world's most important music on the world's most important radio station. Your first choice for classical music in Stillwater, 102.4 Classic FM. More of your all-time favorite classical. Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM. Pure classical all the time. Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM. Pure classical all the time. Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM. The classics on the radio.
And nothing else.
Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM. Music so good it lasts forever. Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM.
Fasten your seatbelt, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach on Stillwater's 102.4 Classic FM. That piece always hits me right in my fugue. Absolutely. Here's Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, exclusively on 102.4 Classic FM. Without reservation, Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, by request, on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. Swimming Upstream, Il Largo, Concerto No. 5 in F minor for harpsichord and strings from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Slow, raw, power, because Largo means slow. Concerto No. 5 in F minor for harpsichord and strings from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, it is my pleasure. Concerto No. 5 in F minor for harpsichord and strings from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM by request. Your wish is my command. Concerto No. 5 in F minor for harpsichord and strings from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Here's a piece from Bach, not to be confused with Mr. Brach, who was my ascot tying teacher at finishing school. Hi-ho, Mr. Brach. Partita No. 1, Gig, from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. To be fair, that really wasn't his first gig. His first gig was as an errand boy. Partita No. 1, Gig, from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, but of course, Partita No. 1, Gig, from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, it is what I live for you and all of Stillwater. Partita No. 1, Gig from Johann Sebastian Bach on 102.4 Classic FM. Macchiato for piano and orchestra. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say macchiato? No, that's just a subtle hint to Arturo, my producer, that my mug is empty. Concerto for piano and orchestra No. 5 in E-flat major, Opus 73, from Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Concerto for Piano and Orchestra, number 5 in E-flat major, Opus 73 from Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM, and as we used to say in composition class, Opus 73, Salieri, nothing. Exactly what I'd hoped you'd ask for. Concerto for Piano and Orchestra number 5 in E-flat major, Opus 73 from Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Indubitably, Concerto for Piano and Orchestra number 5 in E-flat major, Opus 73 from Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Attention, the following piece is to be enjoyed with a scone. Egmont, Opus 84, Overture by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Egmont, Opus 84, Overture by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Beautiful, just beautiful. My ears are applauding all by themselves. I answer in the affirmative. Egmont, Opus 84, Overture, for you, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, but of course. Here it is. Egmont, Opus 84, Overture, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM. Fidelio, 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 Fidelio. Excuse me. The master himself, Ludwig van Awesome, with Fidelio Overture Opus 72B on 102.4 Classic FM. Smell that, still water. That's the scent of brilliance. Oh, smells like creme brulee prepared in a crock pot made of gold. Fidelio, Overture Opus 72B by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester here with you. I, Carlton, Manchester, will make it so. Fidelio, Overture Opus 72B by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Of course, that's Arturo's favorite as well. But aren't they all? Refill, Arturo, Macchiato. Fidelio, Overture Opus 72B by Ludwig van Beethoven. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. This cut is remaining firmly at number 3 on the all-time Hot 100 classical pieces. Sing along. This is Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. And if you don't know the words, well then simply hum. Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM reminds me of lazy afternoons fishing with father. We'd have Clancy and his staff hold our rods while we took drinks on the Lido deck. Ah, roughing it. Yes, indeed. Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM by request. Why, yes. Yes, I will. All for you. Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Using every possible musical word available in the title. Symphony No. 1, Opus 21 Finale, Adagio, Allegro molto vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Symphony No. 1, Opus 21 Finale Adagio, Allegro molto vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. I must apologize if I'm a bit distracted today. It is because I was accosted by a homeless person outside the studio here, begging me for spare change. I had to explain to the ruffian before ducking inside that if it doesn't fold, it simply isn't money to me, you understand. Delightful. Symphony No. 1, Opus 21 Finale, Adagio, Allegro molto vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. I'll do it, but only if you mention Classic 102.4 to your friends. Symphony No. 1, Opus 21, Finale Adagio, Allegro molto vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. I'm trusting you. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. And now, by request, Symphony No. 5 in C minor, Opus 67, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Symphony No. 5 in C minor, Opus 67, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Beethoven's famous Fifth Symphony there. I do love that one. But I don't mind saying that the first four were crap. As you wish. Symphony No. 5 in C minor, Opus 67, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Straight away, Arturo, fetch it. Symphony No. 5 in C minor, Opus 67, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Enjoy now, Stillwater, as you go about your little insignificant lives. Symphony No. 6 in F major, Opus 68, Pastoral, Allegro ma non troppo by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Symphony No. 6 in F major, Opus 68, Pastoral, Allegro ma non troppo by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. No truth to those ugly rumors that Allegro ma non troppo translates from the Italian as corpulent but not a whole. Without further ado, Symphony No. 6 in F major, Opus 68, Pastoral, Allegro ma non troppo by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. I shall do so just for you, and do so post-haste. Symphony No. 6 in F major, Opus 68, Pastoral, Allegro ma non troppo by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Yet another example of Beethoven's sheer genius and his amazing gift of gab. Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Finale, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Finale, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. With me, a toast to composers like Beethoven, who put composers like Salieri to shame. Ha ha! My pleasure. Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Finale, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Absolutely. How about this? Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Finale, Allegro con brio by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester here with you on Classic FM. This is the piece that put Beethoven in our Classic FM Hall of Fame. Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Poco sostenuto, vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. There you have it, Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Poco sostenuto vivace by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. I just received a phone call asking if Poco sostenuto was a famous vintner, and I pretended to care for the entire length of the call. Good for me, eh, Arturo? Excuse me, where's my macchiato? With my compliments. Symphony No. 7 for you now, in A major, of course, Opus 92, Poco sostenuto vivace, by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. All you have to do is simply ask. Symphony No. 7 in A major, Opus 92, Poco sostenuto vivace, by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. All right, line up, brides, guests to the left, grooms, guests on the right. This is Symphony No. 9, fourth movement, Ode to Joy, by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Symphony No. 9, fourth movement, Ode to Joy, by Ludwig van Beethoven. All for you on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. I ask you, How many lovely couples married to this piece only to have their unions ripped apart by slope-headed, mouth-breathing husbands who abused their lovely brides and sent them fleeing into the waiting arms of classical announcers. Are you listening, Craig? Say the word, and it is yours. Symphony No. 9, Fourth Movement, Ode to Joy by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, I do so with great eagerness. Symphony No. 9, Fourth Movement, Ode to Joy by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM by request. Feast your ears on this, the oral equivalent of beluga caviar, Sonata No. 14 in C-sharp minor, Moonlight, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM. Sonata No. 14 in C-sharp minor, Moonlight, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM. Which reminds me, when drinking wine in the moonlight and walking in the woods, be sure to C sharp or you'll B flat. All right. Sonata No. 14 in C sharp minor, Moonlight by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Duly noted, and here it is. Sonata No. 14 in C sharp minor, Moonlight by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Here's a sprightly way to spend the next few minutes. Sonata No. 23 in F minor, Appassionata, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. Sonata No. 23 in F minor, Appassionata, by Ludwig van Beethoven, on 102.4 Classic FM. The title loosely translating there to Passion, something I feel whenever I hear a large woman hit an E-flat above C major. I'd be honored to do so. Sonata No. 23 in F minor, Appassionata, by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. Most assuredly, all for you. Sonata No. 23 in F minor. That's what I have here. Appassionata by Ludwig van Beethoven on 102.4 Classic FM. And now, ladies' choice, all skate. Ballade No. 1 in G minor, Opus 23 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Ballade No. 1 in G minor, Opus 23 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. This station is conducting a hand check. This is only a test. If this were a true emergency, we would ask you to disrobe and empty all your orifices. Well, allow me to amaze you. Here we have Ballade No. 1 in G minor, Opus 23 by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Yes, oh yes, I will. Ballade No. 1 in G minor, Opus 23 by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. Maestro, attenzione. Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor, Opus 21 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor, Opus 21 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM, played molto machismo for all my friends down in Saints Row. Oh, but of course, Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor, will that do? By Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, aside from macchiato, it is what I live for. Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor, Opus 21 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. From his debut CD, Frederick with a C, Etude No. 3 in E major, Opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Etude No. 3 in E major, Opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Make no mistake, that was a difficult piece to play, but I persevered and finally mastered it. First on the kazoo, then on the Jew's harp. Love being a musician. It is my pleasure. Etude number 3 in E major, opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Your wish is my command. Etude number 3 in E major, opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin, all for you on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. Ah, Chopin, he of the large hands, and even larger etudes. Etude number 11 in D-flat major, opus 10, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. All for you, Stillwater, Etude number 11 in D-flat major, opus 12, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. You know, at lunch yesterday, a waiter brought me my soup and said, "Oh, it's hot, I'd be careful if I was you." And I said, "Dear boy, if you were me, you'd hardly be a waiter." Absolutely. Etude number 11 in D-flat major, opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin, all for you on 102.4 Classic FM. Without reservation. Etude number 11 now in D-flat major, opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Here's a favorite of mine. I like to play it totally loud whenever I take an herbal steam at Casa de Carlton. Ah, menthol. Fantasy Impromptu in C-sharp minor, opus 66, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Dance, Stillwater, dance. Chopin commands you to dance. Fantasy Impromptu in C-sharp minor, opus 66, by Frédéric Chopin, touching your heart, right here on 102.4 Classic FM. I shall attend to that post-haste. Fantasy Impromptu in C-sharp minor, opus 66, by Frédéric Chopin, here on 102.4 Classic FM, with Carlton, Manchester. I am but your humble servant, Carlton, Manchester. Here you go. Fantasy Impromptu in C-sharp minor, opus 66, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. This was one of Freddie's personal favorites. Prelude number 3 in G major, opus 28, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Prelude number 3 in G major, opus 24 by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. You'd think that after 3 preludes, he'd finally get on with it. I think Freddie himself would have found that quite humorous. Yes, indeed. Prelude number 3 now, in G major, opus 28 by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Ah, a perfect suggestion. Thank you. Prelude number 3 in G major, opus 28, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. From our ongoing series here on Classic FM, Preludes, Friends or Foes. This is Prelude number 15 in D-flat major, opus 28, The Raindrops Prelude by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Prelude number 15 in D-flat major, opus 28, The Raindrops Prelude by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Out at my estate, the prelude to Raindrops is usually a sharp pain in my coccyx. I said coccyx, didn't I? It's the result of an unfortunate tuba-carrying injury in my wilder days. Exactly what I'd hoped you'd ask. Prelude number 15 in D-flat major, opus 28, The Raindrops Prelude by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Indubitably. Prelude number 15 now, by request in D-flat major, opus 28, The Raindrops Prelude by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. This station has been deluged by calls for more Chopin and less Salieri, and we're listening, Stillwater, so protesters, put away your signs. Prelude number 17 in A major, opus 28, by Frédéric Chopin, on 102.4 Classic FM. Prelude number 17 in A major, opus 28, by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. He's simply Chopin-tastic. I answer in the affirmative. Prelude number 17, all for you in A major, opus 28 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. But of course, Carlton aims to please. Prelude number 17 in A major, opus 28 by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. You've heard of the minute steak, although you've probably never eaten one. This is its inspiration. Valse number 6 in D-flat major, opus 64, number 1, the Minütchenwalzer, the Minute Waltz, by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Valse number 6 in D-flat major, opus 64, number 1, the Minütchenwalzer, the Minute Waltz in English by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Frédéric was looking for dancing efficiency, and he achieved it by Gott. Delightful! Valse number 6 in D-flat major, opus 64, number 1, the Minütchenwalzer, the Minute Waltz by Frédéric Chopin, by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Only if you tell your friends how quick Carlton, Manchester was on the trigger. Valse number 6 in D-flat major, opus 64, number 1, the Minütchenwalzer, the Minute Waltz in English by Frédéric Chopin on 102.4 Classic FM. Please, I urge you to step off that treadmill and immerse yourself in this flower duet, Lakme, by Léo Delibes on 102.4 Classic FM. Flower Duet, Lakme by Léo Delibes on 102.4 Classic FM. I spent a lovely afternoon in the park with this piece until some local ne'er-do-wells arrived and started juggling a beanbag with their feet. I would be honored. Flower Duet by request from Lakme by Léo Delibes on 102.4 Classic FM. Assuredly, Flower Duet, Lakme by Léo Delibes on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM asking, can you handle it, Stillwater? The Hallelujah Chorus from Messiah from George Friedrich Handel on 102.4 Classic FM. The Hallelujah Chorus from the Messiah from Georg Friedrich Handel on 102.4 Classic FM. I always seem to hear that piece in my head right when I conclude my yearly salary negotiations here with the station. All right, the Hallelujah Chorus, right on, from the Messiah from George Friedrich Handel on 102.4 Classic FM. Duly noted, the Hallelujah Chorus from the Messiah from George Friedrich Handel on 102.4 Classic FM. Released just prior to his contracting syphilis and conveniently popular all through his suffering, The Entertainer from Scott Joplin on 102.4 Classic FM, Modern Classics. The Entertainer from Scott Joplin, Ragtime on 102.4 Classic FM. That is called The Entertainer, and it is a title that will never be used to describe Mr. Salieri. Oh, with pleasure. The Entertainer from Scott Joplin by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Immediately, here we have The Entertainer just for you from Scott Joplin on 102.4 Classic FM. Here we have one of the most difficult pieces to play in the world, especially if you're holding a hot macchiato in one hand while trying to do so. Hint, hint, Arturo, snap, snap, the Maple Leaf Rag from Scott Joplin on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. That's the Maple Leaf Rag from Scott Joplin, early 20th century classical music on 102.4 Classic FM. Mr. Joplin often said, if there was a Canadian flag about, I'd squeeze off a batch of pus on it. Take that, Maple Leaf. As you wish, the Maple Leaf Rag from Scott Joplin on 102.4 Classic FM by request. straight away. Carlton Manchester does as he is asked. The Maple Leaf Rag for you from Scott Joplin on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton Manchester with you on Classic FM. Radio so exclusive, you have to be put on the list at the door. Funerab from France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. Do shed a tear. Funerab from France Liszt, the L to the I to the Ist on 102.4 Classic FM. I will, without further ado. Here you have Funerab from France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. I will do so post-haste. Funeral from France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. The inspiration for the Guyash. Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 in C-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 in C-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. Mama just killed a man. Why? Because he failed to refill my macchiato. Arturo! My pleasure. Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 in C-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. Absolutely. Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 in C-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic. This from the greatest hits of the 1850s, Liebestrom, No. 2 in A-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton Manchester. Liebestrom, No. 2 in A-sharp minor, just like my nephew, A-sharp minor as well, by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. With my compliments, Liebestrom for you, No. 2 in A-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. All you have to do is simply ask. Liebestrom, No. 2 in A-sharp minor by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. It is always a pleasure to talk to you Liszt heads. Keep those calls coming. Here is your hero with Prelude and Fugue over BACH, France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. Prelude and Fugue over Bach, B-A-C-H, by France Liszt here on 102.4 Classic FM. I've been asked to relay this message by station management. Kids, don't do drugs. If you feel the urge to abuse a substance, choose a fine camembert. Certainly, enjoy Prelude and Fugue over BACH by France Liszt on 102.4 Classic FM. It makes me happy to make you happy. Prelude and Fugue over BACH by France Liszt on Classic FM 102.4 with your friend Carlton Manchester. Carlton Manchester with you on Classic FM. His middle name may be Bartholdi, but it's superstar here at Classic FM. Mendelssohn's Concerto in E minor, Opus 64, Allegro non troppo, Allegro molto on 102.4 Classic FM. Concerto in E minor, Opus 64, Allegro non troppo, Allegro molto by Mendelssohn on 102.4 Classic FM. You know, I believe that my first computer was an Opus 64. It had cassette storage and a TV for a monitor. Oh, how I adored that piece of technology. Say the word, and it is yours. Concerto in E minor, Opus 64, Allegro non troppo, Allegro molto, all by Mendelssohn on 102.4 Classic FM. With great eagerness. Concerto in E minor, Opus 64, Allegro non troppo, Allegro molto by Mendelssohn on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton Manchester with you on Classic FM. Piano Concerto No. 21 now. The theme from Elvira Madigan by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. It is such a joy to hear this piece performed correctly. Please pay attention. I must tell you, when the Stillwater Symphony performed it on the 4th of July, I was stunned into silence to see the inclusion on stage of a jug, some spoons, and a washboard. Piano Concerto Number 21, the theme from Elvira Madigan, by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. That piece was first performed March 9th, 1785 in Vienna. How do I know that? It's what I do. It is my pleasure here for you. Piano Concerto Number 21, theme from Elvira Madigan, by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Your wish is my command. Piano Concerto Number 21, the theme from Elvira Madigan by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. By request, for a certain Mr. Salieri, here you go. Eine kleine Nachtmusik, second movement by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Eine kleine Nachtmusik, second movement by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, known in the classical world by his initials WAM or the Whammer, on 102.4 Classic FM. Allow me to amaze you, all for you, Eine kleine Nachtmusik, second movement by Wolfgang Mozart, on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, yes. Yes, I will. Eine kleine Nachtmusik, second movement for you by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Imagine the scene. While we're fighting the British for our independence, Mozart was working on this from his deathbed, Introitus Requiem by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. That was Introitus Requiem by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM by request for my friend, Crazy Carl at On the Fence. His constant self-abuse amuses me. Absolutely. Introitus Requiem for you by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. I will, without reservation. All for you by request. Introitus Requiem by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester with you on Classic FM. Listen up, soldier. Hop 234, Turkish March by Wolfgang Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Turkish March by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Going out to all my internet listeners in Turkey. That was for you, baby. Oh, but of course. Turkish March by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. It is what I live for. Turkish March by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on 102.4 Classic FM. Drive Carefully, Night on Bear Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. Night on Bear Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Your leader, Carlton, Manchester, telling you we'll set up base camp here on Bear Mountain, and I'll start the fire for the s'mores. That is exactly what I was going to do. Night on Bear Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Indubitably. Night on Bear Mountain by request by Modest Mussorgsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Gaiety Parisienne, literally the Paris Gaze. It's the Can-Can by Jacques Offenbach on 102.4 Classic FM. Gaiety Parisienne, the Can-Can by Jacques Offenbach on 102.4 Classic FM. Dance, dance, Arturo. My producer's high kick needs work. Oh, and I need a macchiato. I answer in the affirmative. Gaiety Parisienne, the Can-Can by Jacques Offenbach on 102.4 Classic FM by request. But of course, Gaiety Parisienne, the Can-Can by Jacques Offenbach on 102.4 Classic FM. Named the #1 classical piece of all time, and with good reason, as your tear ducts will effect. Pachelbel's Canon in D on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, it is music like that that makes this job a joy. universally loved and always satisfying Pachelbel's Canon in D on 102.4 FM, Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester here with you to while away your day and night. Yes, indeed. Pachelbel's Canon in D on 102.4 Classic FM. A great sandwich, an even greater composer, Niccolo Paganini, 24 Caprices for Violin, Opus 1 through 24 in A minor on 102.4 Classic FM. Niccolo Paganini, 24 Caprices for Violin, Opus number 1 through Opus number 24 in A minor on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. You know, he actually had 25 Caprices, but lost that dreaded 25th in a poker game, a rigged one with Salieri. Curse you, Salieri! Delightful! Niccolo Paganini, 24 Caprices for Violin, Opus 1 through 24 in A minor, by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Only if you spread the Carlton Manchester religion. Niccolo Paganini by request, 24 Caprices for Violin, Opus 1 through 24 in A minor on 102.4 Classic FM. The music word for today is sprightly. The Thieving Magpie from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Gioacchino Rossini and the Thieving Magpie on 102.4 Classic FM. Eyes to the skies, hands on your wallets. The Thieving Magpie is about. All right. The Thieving Magpie, all by request, from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. Duly noted, that is what you want, that is what you'll get. The Thieving Magpie from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. This will sound so familiar even if you have no culture at all. The William Tell Overture from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. During this piece, I shall attempt to split a golden delicious gala apple atop Arturo's head. Oh, danger, boy! The William Tell Overture from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Hi-ho, Stillwater, away! With pleasure. The William Tell Overture from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, immediately. The William Tell Overture from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. By request for a certain, let me see if I'm reading this right, Alfalfa Switzer. And also we got an email from a Mr. Bugs B. Largo Alfactotum, the Barber of Seville, by Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Largo Alfactotum, the Barber of Seville, from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Do me a favor, neat on the sides and a little off the top, thank you. I would be honored. Largo Alfactotum, the Barber of Seville, from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM by request. Assuredly. Here you go. Largo Alfactotum by request, the Barber of Seville, from Gioacchino Rossini on 102.4 Classic FM. Quick to the Bat Symphony, the Fledermaus Overture by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Der Fledermaus Overture by Johann Strauss. Ja, jawohl. I have to be in Brussels in the morning on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester, reminding you that a bit of Strauss reduces stress. As you wish, the Fledermaus Overture. Der Fledermaus by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Straight away, here you have the Fledermaus Overture by request by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Absolutely nothing starts your juices flowing like some good old-fashioned accordion music. Lichtes Blut, the Fast Polka, Opus 319 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Roll out the opus, Lichtes Blut, Fast Polka, Opus 319 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. I will, without further ado, Lichtes Blut, Fast Polka, Opus 319 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. I'll do so post-haste. Here you have, by request, Lichtes Blut, the Fast Polka, Opus 319 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Grab a fat woman and dance, Stillwater, dance. Tritch Tratch Polka, Opus 214 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Tritch Tratch Polka, or as we say for shorthand here in the studio, the TTP, Opus 214 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM with yours truly, Carlton, Manchester. My pleasure. The Tritch Tratch Polka, Opus 214 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Absolutely. How about this? Tritch Tratch Polka, Opus 214 by Johann Strauss on 102.4 Classic FM. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Finale, Allegro Vivacissimo, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. You know, while listening, bear in mind that a Vivacissimo holds no candle to the Macchiato, Salieri, Fine d'Alturo. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Finale Allegro Vivacissimo, by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Now, he called that his finale, but we all know it wasn't. And rather than give you that fish, I will teach you to fish for the rest of Tchaikovsky's classics. Stay tuned. Allow me to amaze you. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Finale Allegro Vivacissimo by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, yes, I will. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Finale Allegro Vivacissimo by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Slavishly attending to the Tchaikovsky Monkey on Your Back, this is the Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Allegro Moderato, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. The absolute perfect soundtrack for organizing cheese. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Allegro Moderato, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Simply say the word and this piece is yours. Concert for Violin and Orchestra, Opus 35, Allegro Moderato, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. Oh, with great eagerness, Concert for Violin and Orchestra for you now, Opus 35, Allegro Moderato, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. The Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Reed Flutes, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Have you ever tried dancing with a reed flute? It is an acquired skill. The Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Reed Flutes, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Absolutely! The Nutcracker Suite for you now. Opus 71A, The Dance of the Reed Flutes, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Without reservation. Here it is. For you, the Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Reed Flutes, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. 1812 had to be a huge year to get its own theme song, don't you think? I mean, it's not like someone had a hit with the Ballad of 1975. The 1812 Overture from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Yes, Saints Row is still a mess. The Stillwater Police can't keep Los Carnales and the 3rd Street Saints from killing each other. And traffic, don't get me started on traffic. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just telling Tchaikovsky the news. 1812 Overture, that was, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. With my compliments, the 1812 Overture from Peter Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. You simply ask and you receive. The 1812 Overture from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Ah, the Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. If there was a Hot 100 chart, Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky would be on it every week. And 102.4 Classic FM, I am Carlton, Manchester. Gather the children round the radio, the Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, only here on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, but this is my pleasure. The Nutcracker Suite, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, on 102.4 Classic FM. Your wish is my command. The Nutcracker Suite by request, Opus 71A, The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky on 102.4 Classic FM. Pick your poison, or title, La Brindisi or La Traviata by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. This from Verdi's trivial period and what made him so darn green. La Brindisi or La Traviata by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton says, but of course. La Brindisi or La Traviata by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. It is what I live for. La Brindisi or La Traviata by Giuseppe Verdi by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Taking Donna on the ride of her life. La Donna Immobile by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. La Donna Immobile, which has nothing to do with cell phones, by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. That is exactly what I was going to do. La Donna Immobile by Giuseppe Verdi on 102.4 Classic FM. Indubitably, La Donna Immobile by request by Giuseppe Verdi here on 102.4 Classic FM. Celebrating classical music year-round in Stillwater, we continue our special tribute to Vivaldi with this, the Four Seasons #1, The Spring, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Ah, spring, when thoughts turn to love, and we witness the turning of a young man's fancy. Just don't let those pictures get onto the internet. Take it from someone who knows. The Four Seasons #1, The Spring, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. I answer you, the listener, in the affirmative. The Four Seasons by request, #1, The Spring, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. But, of course, The Four Seasons #1, The Spring, by Antonio Vivaldi, by request on 102.4 Classic FM. Celebrating classical music in Stillwater year-round, we continue our special tribute to Vivaldi, The Four Seasons #2, The Summer, by Antonio Vivaldi, on 102.4 Classic FM with Carlton, Manchester. This was very much akin to having some hot fun in the summertime. The Four Seasons #2, The Summer, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Oh, yes, indeed, I will. The Four Seasons #2 for you. This is called The Summer, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Ah, a perfect suggestion. Thank you. The Four Seasons #2, The Summer, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Celebrating classical music year-round, we continue our special tribute to Vivaldi, The Four Seasons #4, The Winter, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Carlton, Manchester here, missing the cold here in Stillwater. You know, I can always go down to Saints Row and have some steel pressed against my neck. Ah, memories. That was the Four Seasons number 4, The Winter, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. Delighted to do so. The Four Seasons number 4, The Winter, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. I will, only if you recommend us to your loved ones. The Four Seasons by request, number 4, The Winter, by Antonio Vivaldi on 102.4 Classic FM. What a fun title to say, and say well. Gotterdammerung, Funeral March by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Gott Wagner, Gotterdammerung, Funeral March by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM with Carl Manchester. All right, how about Gotterdammerung, the Funeral March by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM? Duly noted, done and done, with Gotterdammerung, the Funeral March by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. The Fat Lady, I assure you, will sing or will not sing during this piece. More than once, anyway. Lohengrin, Overture to the Third Act by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Lohengrin, Overture to the Third Act by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Wagner, my Lohengrin for a Wagner. Oh, wait, I don't have a Lohengrin. With pleasure. Here you go. Lohengrin, Overture to the Third Act by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Immediately, Lohengrin, Overture to the Third Act by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM by request with Carlton Manchester. Carlton Manchester here with one of the biggest in the classical ring. The Rienzi Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Rienzi Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. You know, you're sure to draw a crowd when you make overtures like that. As you wish. The Rienzi Overture All for You by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. A request for you straight away. The Rienzi Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Fresh from his tanning sessions in Vienna, the Tannhauser Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. The Tannhauser Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. You know, his great-great-great-great-great-grandson is living right here in North Stillwater. Oh, and without further ado, I will. The Tannhauser Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. I shall do so post-haste. The Tannhauser Overture by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM with yours, Carlton Manchester. Carlton Manchester with you, Stillwater. Do this for me. Round up the horses and the nuclear missiles. This is Ride of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Ride of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. There really isn't, truth be told, anything like the smell of certain flammable, man-made jelly-like products in the morning. I'd be honored. Here you go. Ride of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner, or as we say in Germany, Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Assuredly, let's go with Ride of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner on 102.4 Classic FM. Over to the newsroom, and this from Jack Armstrong. And now a bulletin from Jack in the 102.4 Classic FM newsroom. Over to the 102.4 Classic FM newsroom, and this from Jack Armstrong. Now, here's Jack Armstrong with 102.4 Classic FM news. The news now. From the 102.4 Classic FM newsroom, here's Jack. Stillwater weather, gloomy day today. Not the day to be working on that tan, and more of the same tonight. Stillwater weather, gloomy day today. Not the day to be working on that tan, and more of the same tomorrow. Still water weather, the rain is rolling in, visibility about as low as you can possibly imagine. And remember, don't use your brights, more of a hazard than a help. Still water weather, rain, and more rain. Take it easy out there and don't get in the way of other drivers. Still water weather, can't see the hand in front of your face. Raining all day and evening, and then burning off in the morning. Careful out there. Still water weather, I bet you got your car washed yesterday, didn't you? Yes, that's when it drizzles, right? Pretty much the word for the day is wet, continuing into the night. Still water weather, a light sprinkling on and off all day today. Not going to completely ruin your picnic. Might make you run for cover now and then, just like this all afternoon. Still water weather, Doppler radar showing a fine misting all over the city. Could develop into something heavier, but it's a bit too soon to tell. Grab the umbrella just to be sure. Still water weather, slick roads, lots of splash, and still water drivers still don't know what to do when it rains. We've got a traffic report on the way during the news at the top of the hour. Still water weather, cats and dogs out there, people. Rain heavy all day today, into the night, and continuing through tomorrow afternoon. Careful of the black ice in the higher elevations outside the city. Still water weather, we told you this was going to happen. Did you grab your slicker? How about your rubbers? Not those rubbers, come on. Rain on the horizon, temperatures falling for the next few days. Still water weather, partly cloudy with a chance of rain, about 50-50, and more of the same tonight. Still water weather, partly cloudy, chance of rain, about 50-50, and more of the same tomorrow. Still water weather, this is the kind of weather that leads to disaster. If you don't have to be out and about, don't, and if you're out, get inside. We have lightning flashing all over the city, and outages have been reported. We'll have more details in the news at the top of the hour. Still water weather, Mama said there'd be days like this. An electrical storm over the city, right now wreaking havoc with traffic, and hey, that golf game is just going to get tougher. Still water weather, power lines down due to the lightning storm. The weather word is flashy. Stay in your car and get out of open spaces. Still water weather like the inside of a domed stadium, isn't it? Gorgeous weather tonight and tomorrow. Still water weather, clear skies, calm winds. It's so nice out. I think I'll leave it out. Still water weather, just an absolutely beautiful day out. Sunshine, clear skies, just the kind of day to play hooky, take a long lunch, or a drive in the country. A nippy 48 in Stillwater. 56 in Stillwater. 59 in Stillwater. 63 in Stillwater. 68 degrees in Stillwater. 72 in Stillwater. 75 in Stillwater. 81 in Stillwater. 85 degrees in Stillwater. 90 degrees in Stillwater. Stillwater's Classic FM 102.4. This is Carlton. Hello. 102.4 Classic FM. Hello. 102.4. This is Carlton, Manchester. Hello. Hello there. This is 102.4 Classic FM. 102.4 Classic FM, the world's most important music. Hello.
Carlton, please play a song for my boss, please. Hi, Carlton. Please play my request. You, Carlton, are incredible. Please play me something. Carlton, you are incorrigible. Play me something incredible.
Hi, Carlton, on 102.4 Classic FM. Please play me something wonderful. I love 102.4 Classic FM. Can you give me a piece just for me? Hey, 102.4 Classic FM. I love you. Do you have anything you can play just for me?
Carlton, Mr. Manchester, I need your musical expertise, please.
Hello, Carlton. I can't believe I'm on the air. Classic FM is the best. Could you please just play me something beautiful? I love 102.4 Classic FM, and if you could play my piece, it would just make my day. Hi, Carlton. My whole family listens to you. We love you. Could you please play our favorite piece? Oh, Classic FM, you are the best thing going. Please just play our piece for us. We'd be so happy. Carlton, I have to tell you that your obesity is only surpassed by your pomposity. Could you please play me a piece?
Hey, Carlton, please play my request.
Hey, Carlton, please play my request. You, Carlton, are incredible. Play me something incredible.